General rule, leg takedowns cause significantly fewer injuries than upper body throws. I'm sure you can all guess why. Because in upper body throws, typically both athletes' bodies leave the ground and there is uncontrolled falling body weight involved. In most leg takedowns, at least one of the athletes has his feet on the ground. And as a result, the impact with the floor is significantly less. So in the case of double legs and single legs, it's not always wrong to start bracing down to the floor. But I am going to give you one big piece of advice. If I'm in a single leg and I want to brace on the floor, don't brace with your hand out wide. The more your hand goes from being underneath you to out wide, the more stress on the shoulder and elbow. Typically, when we brace with your hand underneath you. Okay, it's a lot safer. The minute you begin reaching out wide, that's when you collapse and get hurt. Okay. Secondarily, if you feel the impact is very high and your feet have, this is usually because your feet have left the ground. If your feet ever leave the ground, that means there's going to be higher impact. Don't so much land on a hand as land on an elbow and then build up to a hand later. Okay, so if I feel I'm going to fall hard in a forwards direction, what I don't want to do is land with my arm away from my body. That's when you get hard impact and bad injuries. Okay, try to land with hand underneath you, and if the impact is hard because your feet have left the ground, land on an elbow and then build yourself up to an arm. Don't just land there and try and stop yourself. There was a very famous incident many years ago when a very talented Brazilian mixed martial arts fighter, Shogun Rua, fought a very powerful American wrestler called Mark Coleman. Coleman had a powerful double leg, and he hit Shogun Rua early in a match with a double leg. Shogun Rua didn't want to go down to the ground with a powerful wrestler, so he turned and he went down with two hands, like so. Now it looked like it was safe because he went down with two hands and his hands were underneath his chest, so everything should have been okay. The problem was that Mark Coleman had a very powerful double leg and he lifted and he took both his feet off the ground. Okay, so Shogun Rua went for nothing on the ground and landed like so, and one of his elbows completely dislocated, came completely out of its socket, and the match was over immediately. So even a very talented athlete landing on two hands when they were braced, broke an elbow. Okay, now my rule of thumb, after I saw that, I said, man, I've got to modify my protocols to take account for this. My rule of thumb is, if your feet are on the mat, it's okay to land on braced hands, provided they're underneath you. It's not okay to land out here somewhere and crash into the mat, okay? But if your feet leave the mat, land on your elbows. You can always build up later to your hands, okay? So let's have a look at this in detail now. Giancarlo, you're going to take standing position. Nick Ortiz is going to be in on a double leg on two knees. Okay, from here, Giancarlo, I want you to turn out towards me. Good. As he goes to complete the double leg, you're just going to commit down to the floor. Good. And just put your hand down on the mat so he doesn't take you down. Okay. He goes to take you over. Good. Now, you can put your hips down. Same. Side again. So you hit a double leg, Giancarlo, just fall down. Like so. Okay. Now that was pretty safe because Giancarlo kept his hand relatively close to his chest as he turned down. Okay. Now go back. This time, his training partner picks his feet up off the ground. It would be risky to go down to a hand. Let your hand and elbow collapse. Don't brace out and watch your elbow break. Make your arms soft and go down to an elbow. Let's see it. So you get picked up off the floor. Watch Giancarlo's hand make contact. The arm is soft, so it goes down to an elbow. Now he builds to a hand. That way you reduce the impact on the elbow and collarbone and shoulder. Okay? What you want to avoid is coming down on a braced, straightened arm. That's when you get badly hurt. In Shogun Rua's case, even two arms couldn't save him. Just turned and bang, one of them went down. When this happens, just let it go down and then build yourself back up afterwards. Okay? You can fall to your elbows quite safely. Nick Ortiz, take a standing position. Just by yourself. Face the wall. Nope. Now from here, just have your hands like so, and feet together. Just fall forwards onto your forearms. Okay, your body can handle that very, very easily. Okay, it's a good, safe position to fall from. Now do the same fall. Roll onto your right hip and come up onto your hip. Fall down to your right hip. And now come up on your right hand. Okay, now do it properly. So you get taken down, you fall safely onto your forearms, and then build up. Okay, so you want height at the end of the takedown. You don't have to do it by bracing unsafely like so. Just fall and then come up for height later. Now, make this part of a takedown. Giancarlo, put him down, double leg. Yeah. So from here, he turns out, goes down to his forearms, and then bounces back up. Okay, so you got the height, but you didn't endanger yourself. My point is simple. Don't fall down to a stiff, hyperextended arm. If the impact is high, which is usually because your knees and feet left the floor, go down to an elbow, you can always build back up later. Okay, so the two rules of thumb: if the impact is relatively low for a takedown, single leg or double leg, it's okay to put a hand down to the floor, unlike a big throw. It is okay. But don't come out wide where things start to go wrong. Okay, try to keep your hand more or less close to being underneath you rather than way out wide where things can go wrong. If you get picked up off the floor, then fall to your forearms and elbows and then come up afterwards. Okay, and in this way you can be very safe. Now let's look at this in a competitive setting. Giancarlo, you're in on a double leg, he's standing. Okay, put in a left tight waist. No, not you, Giancarlo. Now, from here, a standard protocol to defend double legs. Giancarlo, just put your left knee down for now. From here, walk around to your right and put your right hand down to the floor. Let's go. Good, keep going. Sprawling. Like so. Okay, so he facilitated a sprawl by putting the hand down to the floor. Why was it safe? Because he was supported with a tight waist grip around the waist. And then from here, the impact was very, very low, so it was perfectly fine to put the hand down. The hand was pretty much under his chest, so this is a good, safe example of putting a hand down to the floor when you're in a double leg. Let's contrast this with Giancarlo getting deep in on a double and lifting him high up off the floor. Standing up now, Giancarlo. Now, if Giancarlo goes to slam his training partner down, it would be suicide to reach for the floor here. You'd absolutely break your own arm. Okay, so if you fall in this fashion, go down to an elbow, and as he follows you down, go back up to your base and go to work from there. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Safety with falling technique for both big upper body throws and for leg takedown techniques. Those are my safety protocols. My students use those all the time, and they have a very good safety record both in the gym and in competition.